and he worked as a pro vice chancellor, uh, Mahatma Gandhi Antarashtriya Hindi Vishwavidyalaya, Wardha, Maharashtra, from 2016 to 2019. He as a visiting associate professor in department and professor in department of Indology, Sofia University, Sofia, Bulgaria, for 3 years, and designated as the first secretary in Embassy of India in Sofia, Bulgaria, from 2003 to 2006. Sir has more than 10 books, publications, and several research paper, criticism, article published in journals of repute in India and abroad. His various stories and poems were published in reputed literary magazines of India and internationally also. He has translated poem of English, French in Bulgarian language, and poem translated also in Bulgarian language. Uh, Professor Anand sir have awarded Naresh Mehta Sarjana Award, Maithili Sarangupt Award by Uttar Pradesh Hindi Sansthan. Sir has also very unique, I will say, the feature of his personality, that is script. He's a very script writer and voice over 60 educational documentary. He was the convener and anchor of the more than 30 talk show discussions and other programs of at Doordarshan. He has conducted more than 300 programs on All India Radio. This is the what I'm going to tell you, that he has acted in two feature films, namely Hazaro Khwaishein Aisi and Rajniti, and serial Mahakumbh and Vansh, 15 telefilms, documents, and 30 plays on stage. Participants today, we have not only the speaker from the academics, but he is already, what I told you, that he have acted in many more films. So I hope that the experiences and his versatile knowledge about not only bookish but as well as the practical knowledge, and that will be very much fruitful for us. That the topic which I will request to sir to deliver on, that is academic leadership and governance and management. Sir, with these short your introduction, I would like to invite, with due respect, that now the sir mic over to you, sir.
Okay.
Anand Vardhan, sir, please.
Thank you, Aftab Saab. I hope that I am properly audible.
Yes, sir, you are very much.
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, okay, thank you. So, friends, a very good afternoon to all of you. Today, I'm very excited to share my thoughts with you in this NEP sensitization and orientation program organized by MMTTC, Aligarh Muslim University, Aligarh. And for this, I express my deep gratitude to Professor Basi, Director, MMTTC, AMU, and also coordinator, convener of this program, Professor Aftab Ahmadji.
Thank you.
We all know that this MMTTC, or all the MMTTC which are working in India now, the number is 116. And 66 were earlier, earlier number was 66 only. Recently, other numbers is increased. And at that time, when it was started after 1986 new education policy came into existence, so it was thought that some training program should be conducted for the teachers. And then UGC established UGC academic staff colleges, and the number was 66. The name Academic Staff College was changed in 2015 and it was renamed as UGC Human Resource Development Center. But last year, again, it is renamed as UGC Malvi Mission Teachers Training Center, MMTTC. So now, all the training programs related to teaching faculty in higher education, they will be trained under this umbrella. UGC, MMTTC, and number is also increased. As I told you that now number is 116. So first of all, I'd like to know, Aftabji, whether it will be okay to speak only in English or to be bilingual or Hindi.
Sir,
You know,
because the participants are from Northeast, South India, so I think the mixed language will be more suitable for them.
okay. So bilingual is will be
Bilingual.
okay, because sometimes it also happens that if the whole lecture is in English, then some of our friends, they say that it is also difficult for them. So I'll try to be bilingual, Hindi and English both. I'll try to speak. Though in this case, it also happens that things are repeated twice, so and the time is also its limit. By the way, friends, what I am going to tell you, nothing is new in my lecture, but what I thought to share my experiences, to share the things, my views with you on this platform, because definitely, as I've probably told you, that since last almost 13, 14 years, I'm directly in, not only as a teacher I work, but also as an academic administrator. So I have one request also to the friends, Vaishnavi, please mute your mic so that you could listen to me properly. Vaishnavi Markanji, please mute your mic, Vaishnavi ji, and others also. Otherwise, it will be very difficult to listen to me. Because this is
Participants, kindly mute yourself. वैष्णवी जी म्यूट कर लीजिए अपने माइक को. मैं अभी सभी को रिमूव करवा देता हूँ.
जी
अगर ये डिस्टर्ब दोबारा किए.
जी जी. Vaishnavi Markanji is there or not? I don't know. Because if he is listening, then he should mute her. By the way, because all the class has some decorum, and वैष्णवी जी आप हमें सुन रही हैं? वैष्णवी मुल्तान जी, वैष्णवी जी कृपया आपका माइक म्यूट कीजिए.
सर अभी इनको रिमूव करना 2 मिनट में.
जी. तो मित्रों, हम सब जानते हैं कि ये जो नई शिक्षा नीति बनी है, ये एक बड़ी लंबी प्रतीक्षा के बाद बनी है, और इस राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति ने बहुत सारे क्रांतिकारी परिवर्तन करने के लिए, क्रांतिकारी नवाचार करने के लिए हमें प्रेरित किया है. तो एकेडमिक लीडरशिप पर बोलने से पहले मैं इसके जो मुख्य बिंदु हैं उनके बारे में थोड़ी सी चर्चा आपसे करूंगा. बिकॉज as all we know that this new education policy is formed after a long time. I told you that the earlier new education policy was emerged, it came into existence in 1986, and the next one about which we are talking today, it came into existence in 2020, means after 34 years, after a long gap of 34 years, came into existence. And the National Education Policy 2020 aims to provide inclusive and equal quality education for all, and to promote lifelong learning education opportunities. ये जो राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति 2020 बनी है, इसका जो लक्ष्य है कि सभी के लिए एक समावेशी और एक ऐसी शिक्षा व्यवस्था बने जो समान गुणवत्ता है, तो सबके लिए एक सी हो, और इसमें जीवन पर्यंत शिक्षा के अवसरों को भी बढ़ावा दिया जाए, लाइफ लॉन्ग लर्निंग को बढ़ावा दिया जाए. तो हम सब ये भी देख रहे हैं कि आज पूरी दुनिया बहुत तेजी से एक परिवर्तन की ओर बढ़ रही है. द होल वर्ल्ड इज चेंजिंग रैपिडली. And in this situation, it also becomes necessary that our country, which is quite rich in human resources, should also move with the pace of this change. And from this perspective, this education policy will prove to be very important. So one of the main issues that has been specifically addressed in this national education policy is sustainability. सातत्य, इसको हिंदी में सातत्य कहा जाता है, या कंटिन्यूटी के रूप में भी आप इसे देख सकते हैं, निरंतरता के रूप में देख सकते हैं। तो ये सातत्य जो है, ये जो अलग अलग विषय हैं उनके बीच के अंतर संबंधों की पड़ताल करने की दृष्टि से भी बहुत जरूरी है, और जो बदलती हुई परिस्थितियां हैं जिसके बारे में मैंने आपसे चर्चा की, इस दृष्टि से भी बहुत उपयोगी है. इट इज वेरी यूजफुल from the point of view to investigate the interrelationship between different subjects and to understand the changing circumstances. It is also mentioned in this national education policy clearly, the wordings are from there, that by 2040, India should aim for an education system that is second to none. An education system where the highest quality education is equally available to all the learners belonging to any social or any economical background. ऐसी शिक्षा व्यवस्था हो जहाँ जो सब किसी भी सामाजिक और आर्थिक पृष्ठभूमि से संबंध रखने वाले शिक्षार्थियों को समान रूप से दी जा सके, और सन 2040 तक शिक्षा प्रणाली का लक्ष्य ये होना चाहिए कि हमारी शिक्षा किसी से भी पीछे न हो. This is also very important, that this national education policy is the first education policy of the 21st century. I told you earlier that the earlier one was the new education policy of 1986. So now almost 38 years passed, and this education policy aims to meet the essential requirements for the development of our country. हमारे पूरे देश का विकास हो सके, इस दृष्टि से यह राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है. यानी इसमें जो कुछ चीजें सम्मिलित की गई हैं उसमें अंततः देश के विकास की बात की गई है. तो इसकी जो शब्दावली है ये अपने आप में पूरी तरह स्पष्ट है. द टर्मिनोलॉजी ऑफ दिस नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी इज वेरी क्लियर इन इटसेल्फ. वी नो दैट आवर कंट्री India, Bharat, which is culturally very rich and also known in all over the world for its tradition. Today, we the Indians, we are leaving our traditions. We are forgetting them, saying that we are being modern. But seeing the importance of those traditions, other countries, they are adopting it. Why I am saying so? As Aftabji told you that I visited so many countries, not too much, but more than 24 countries I visited. Everywhere where I went, I found that foreigners have a great curiosity about our country. They want to know. They want to know about our traditions. They want to know about our culture. They want to know about our rituals. वो हम लोगों के इन सारी चीजों के बारे में बहुत उत्सुक हैं जानने. I spent more than 6 years continuously staying in Europe. और जहां भी मैं जाता था, wherever I go, वहां लोगों का पहला प्रश्न होता था कि आपके यहाँ इतनी बड़ी जनसंख्या होते हुए भी भारत, आप इतने सारे सांस्कृतिक विविधता को एक साथ लेकर के चलते हैं, ये बहुत बड़ी बात है। और इतना ही नहीं, जो हमारी परंपराएं हैं उनको जानने की जिज्ञासा ने उनका प्रचार प्रसार भी किया। We all know that in this month itself, on 21st June, we are going to celebrate World Yoga Day. In English, we are saying it yoga. ये योग है, विश्व योग दिवस हम मनाते हैं, और पूरी दुनिया में हर देश में यह मनाया जाता है और बहुत विस्तार से मनाया। जिसका जन्म हमारे यहाँ हुआ, भारत में। Also, they other countries, the people of other countries are also, they are very keen to know about Ayurveda, about our social system, हमारे यहाँ की सामाजिक संरचना को जानने के लिए बहुत उत्सुक है। और इतना ही नहीं, जब हम पूरी शिक्षा व्यवस्था की बात करते हैं तो मैं आपके साथ बहुत दावे के साथ ये शेयर कर सकता हूँ कि भारतीय विद्यार्थी एक बहुत मेहनती कौम है। शायद यही कारण है कि दुनिया के सारे बड़े देशों में भारतीयों ने अपनी उपस्थिति को दर्ज कराया है। दिस इज द ओनली रीजन दैट दे प्रूव्ड, इंडियंस प्रूव्ड देमसेल्व्स wherever they are working, either in US or UK and Germany and France and Italy, all countries. They proved themselves. They are in good numbers. They are laborious. और ये सारी चीजें जो हैं, ये हमें एक तरीके से मोटिवेट करने का काम करती है। ये भी बड़ी महत्वपूर्ण बात है। दिस इज ऑल्सो इम्पोर्टेंट दैट आवर ट्रेडिशंस also strengthen the creativity of human beings and also teach how we can reconcile with each other in this dynamic and changing society. इस बदलते हुए समाज में हम कैसे एक दूसरे के बीच सामंजस्य कैसे स्थापित कर सके, इसकी ओर भी हमारी परंपराएं संकेत करती है। It is also a challenge that in such a large country like India, where different types of communities, different kind of people and society live, where larger division is seen economically, social diversity, as well cultural diversity, it is found. So the challenge is how to implement a new education policy in such a large country simultaneously. एक साथ हम इस पूरे राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति को पूरे देश में कैसे लागू करें, ये भी एक चुनौती की तरह है, एक एक्सरसाइज है। और एक महत्वपूर्ण बात और है कि जब पूरे देश में जहां इतनी डाइवर्सिटी है, such kind of diversity is there, and when we are going to implement this, so it is also a work to create a thread of unity. हम पूरे देश को एकता के सूत्र में बांधने का काम इसके माध्यम से कर रहे हैं। तो सब जगह लागू होगी, चाहे उत्तर हो, चाहे दक्षिण हो, चाहे पूर्व हो, चाहे पश्चिम। और यह भी इसमें उल्लेख किया गया है कि इस राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति का मुख्य उद्देश्य एक बेहतर नागरिक तैयार करना है। हमें यहाँ पर याद आते हैं महामना पंडित मदन मोहन मालवीय, जिनके नाम पर आज यह पूरा का पूरा जो प्रशिक्षण का कार्यक्रम है, प्रशिक्षण केंद्रों का नामकरण उनके नाम पर किया गया, मालवीय मिशन टीचर्स ट्रेनिंग सेंटर। So he is the same person, a great thinker, educationist, freedom fighter, advocate of India, who established Banaras Hindu University in 1916, 108 years back. And when he was establishing that Banaras Hindu University, he specifically mentioned that the purpose of establishing this university is to create a better citizen. And the same way, after 104 years of the establishment of that university, the same thing is being said in this national education policy कि हमें एक अच्छे नागरिक को तैयार करने की बात करनी चाहिए। तो ये जो वर्तमान राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति है, ये इस बात पर प्रकाश डालती है कि शैक्षिक प्रणाली का उद्देश्य अच्छे इंसानों को बनाना है, उनका विकास करना है। और वो होने कैसे चाहिए? Those good human beings, they should be very capable of rational thoughts and actions, including compassion and empathy, courage. They should have scientific thinking and creative imagination. They should also have moral values. These are the basis and the aim of this national education policy is to produce productive peoples. ऐसे उत्पादक लोगों को तैयार करना है जो पूरे देश की बेहतरी के लिए काम कर सके, एक ऐसे समाज में जिसकी परिकल्पना हमारे संविधान में की गई है। तो ये सारी जो बातें हैं, ये इस राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति में कही गई। अब ये जो राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति 2020 है, it also addresses all the points related to basic education, primary education, then secondary education, higher secondary education, up to the higher education, with all the modernity, with all the sciences. It also mentions that this is the time to prepare the study material in a newer way. Those books should motivate students, and it is also said that all the better samagri is only available in English. ये भी कहा जाता है कि जो बेहतर किताबें हैं वो कहाँ उपलब्ध हैं? केवल अंग्रेजी भाषा में, जबकि सच ये है नहीं। लेकिन एक बात जरूर सच है कि चूंकि दूसरी भाषाओं में लिखी नहीं गई हैं, इसलिए बेहतर सामग्री के लिए हमको अंग्रेजी की ओर तो देखना पड़ता है। वी आर कंपेल्ड टू सी टुवर्ड्स द इंग्लिश। सो इट इज क्लियरली emphasized here in this policy that teachers should prepare the reading material in their own language, local language also. So there is also an emphasis on local languages. जो स्थानीय भाषाएं हैं उनके ऊपर भी खास ध्यान देने की बात यहाँ की गई है कि सारी की सारी शिक्षा इस तरह से दी जाए जो स्थानीय भाषा में की। तो प्राथमिक से लेके फ्रॉम द बेसिक एजुकेशन अप टू द हायर एजुकेशन, शिक्षा के हर स्तर को ध्यान में रखते हुए इस राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति को एक मुकम्मल स्वरूप दिया गया है। एंड ऑल्सो देयर इज समथिंग फॉर ऑल द स्टेक होल्डर्स इन दिस नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी। जितने स्टेक होल्डर हैं, जितने सहभागी हैं, either they are students or they are teachers or they are educational administrators or they are parents, alumni, सबके लिए इस राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति में कुछ न कुछ कहा गया है, पर्याप्त महत्व दिया गया है। They got some important thing, some importance, and important things are set here. They are mentioned here. So teachers are the main stakeholder, and this total program, NEP sensitization program, is based on main 8 points. I think you have all already heard about it. What is the concept behind it? You know. And under these 8 points, you have to learn, you have to discuss several things. You have to listen the things. You have to listen the lectures. And one of them is academic leadership, governance, and management. So who is the academic leader? He is not only the main stakeholder, but he is teacher himself. So teacher is always here in a dual responsibility. He or she is responsible not only for the teaching in the classroom, but also he or she will be the academic or educational administrator. In both the ways, he is an academic leader. They are the teachers. Basically, they are the teachers who are educational administrators. In your classroom, you are academic leader. You are teaching the class, you are leading the class. Under your leadership, under your patronage, under your motivation, the class is going ahead. That is your team. And also, being a teacher, you will be head of department, you will be maybe vice dean, you may be dean, you may be vice principal, pro vice chancellor, vice chancellor. So all those positions are also directly related to this academic leadership. Who is academic leader is teacher. So we have to discuss today about this. Before talking about the academic leadership, first of all, I would like to tell you something. What is leadership? What is the role of leader? Actually, if we see, so we find that leadership is actually an art of motivating people. To those people who are working, and also it focuses towards the planned objectives. Leadership also encourages the people to take up responsibilities and grow personally and professionally in both the ways. When we work something, we are not only supporting our institution, but also we are supporting our personal career also. In any organization, either that is academic organization or other than any academic organization, it is a vital मैनेजमेंट फंक्शन. ये प्रबंधन का एक महत्वपूर्ण कार्य है जो इस बात को भी सुनिश्चित करता है कि हम काम करने वाले की क्षमता को कैसे बढ़ा सकें ताकि हमारा जो लक्ष्य है उसकी प्राप्ति कैसे हो. तो जो इफेक्टिव लीडरशिप होती है दैट प्रोवाइड्स क्लैरिटी ऑफ पर्पस, उद्देश्यों में बिल्कुल स्पष्टता होती है, उसकी ओर ये प्रेरित और इस बात की ओर भी एक गाइड करती है, हमें निर्देशित करती है कि जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, जो संगठन है जहां हम काम कर रहे हैं, उसका जो मिशन है, उसका जो विजन है, उसका क्रियान्वयन कैसे, हाउ वी कैन इम्प्लीमेंट ऑल दोज विजन एंड मिशन ऑफ our organization, either that is a college or that is an institute or a university, everywhere. And training is also a part of that. Because of this reason, we all are here. You are here as a listener, I'm here as a speaker. But even on this verge of age, even we people sometimes get opportunity to be trained. And teacher is the person who should be a very good listener, who should always behave as a student. A good teacher is always a good student. Till the last breath of his life or her life, she should be a good student. She should act as a good student. Otherwise, he or she cannot prove himself or herself as a good teacher. So this kind of things can be only done when we got clear concept what academic leadership is. So an effective leader is that person who inspires and motivates others. What we do in our class, what we do being an educational administrator. And also, he or she should have a vision and also the thinking how to direct the path to achieve the goal. ये बिल्कुल तय होना चाहिए कि उसके पास एक अच्छी समझ हो, एक अच्छा दृष्टिकोण हो और वो लक्ष्य प्राप्ति की ओर जो रास्ता जा रहा है उस पर जाने के लिए लोगों को प्रेरित कर सके, वो एक अच्छा लीडर लीडर हो। तो जब हम एकेडमिक लीडरशिप की बात करते हैं या तो उससे पहले फिर बात आती है कि आखिर क्या लीडरशिप की कई तरह की स्टाइल है क्या? आर देयर डिफरेंट स्टाइल्स ऑफ लीडरशिप? डेफिनेटली देयर आर. So a leadership style is a way in which a leader accomplishes their team's objective by motivating employees to work towards the common goal. जैसे हम कहते हैं हमारा एक मिनिमम कॉमन प्रोग्राम है, उस कॉमन गोल की ओर हम प्रेरित करने का काम करते हैं, वो स्टाइल करती है. So understanding leadership style is imperative for a team to work together and also keep growing while embracing changes. परिवर्तन को देखते हुए भी यह आवश्यक है. तो लीडरशिप स्टाइल वास्तव में जो होती है, जो शैली होती है, ये पूरे के पूरे समूह को, क्योंकि जब समूह होगा तब तो एक लीडर होगा. जब एक when there will be a team, then there will be a leader. If in one team only one person is there, then he cannot be or she cannot be leader. He's alone. But when the number is bigger, then somebody will act as a leader. So the style increases team engagement. जो टीम का जो engagement है, जो संलग्नता है, उसको बढ़ाने का काम करती है. और the style also strengthens the effectiveness of the team. It improves team's communication, collaboration, सहयोग, संप्रेषण, संवाद, इन सबको बढ़ाने का काम ये शैली करती है. तो एक तरीके से नेतृत्व शैली एक अलग किस्म का एक तरीका है जिसमें जो नेता होता है वो कर्मचारियों को एक सामान्य लक्ष्य की दिशा में काम करने के लिए प्रेरित करता है. तो इसके बहुत सारे स्वरूप है, उनमें से कुछ हमारी अकादमिक लीडरशिप से सीधे सीधे जुड़ते हैं कुछ शैलियां, और कुछ उसके अनुरूप नहीं. तो मैं आपको बताना चाहूंगा कि जो डेमोक्रेटिक लीडरशिप है ये पहली शैली है. दिस इज द फर्स्ट स्टाइल. हिंदी में इसको लोकतांत्रिक नेतृत्व कहेंगे. सो हु इज अ डेमोक्रेटिक लीडर? Who follows the democracy? It's very easy. He makes the decision based on their team's opinion and feedback also. It means those leaders always get everyone involved in the decision making process. जो डिसीजन मेकिंग की प्रक्रिया है, जो निर्णय लेने की प्रक्रिया है, उसमें सबको वो शामिल करता है. तो जब सबको शामिल करता है तो इसका अर्थ क्या हुआ कि इसमें इसकी विशेषताओं में ये हुआ कि यहाँ कन्वर्सेशन ट्रांसपेरेंट होना चाहिए. देयर शुड बी अ ट्रांसपेरेंट कन्वर्सेशन. where everyone's opinion counts, जहाँ सारे लोग अपनी अपनी राय दें और सबकी राय का महत्व हो, कोलैबोरेटिव वे में सारे लोग काम करें, एज अ टीम वर्क they should also work, and when they are expressing their own views, it means the leader is encouraging the discussions of the team members, and in this way he or she tries to find a solution of the problems. He can solve complex problems, new projects where there are new projects. The constant brainstorming is also important. लगातार उसमें बहस मुबाहिसा जरूरी है जब हम कोई नई परियोजना की शुरुआत करते हैं। ये भी बहुत जरूरी है जो मैंने आपसे बताया कि यहाँ पर सबकी राय के साथ साथ फीडबैक भी होना चाहिए। तो इसका अर्थ ये हुआ कि फीडबैक, सबकी राय, सबको प्रेरणा देना, सबकी बातें सुनना, ये सब लोकतांत्रिक प्रक्रिया में जरूरी है, लोकतांत्रिक लीडरशिप की प्रक्रिया में जरूरी है, और यह एक आवश्यक प्रक्रिया है। तो ऐसे में हम ये देखते हैं कि being a teacher, when we are acting as an academic leader in our classroom, so this kind of leadership is really important for us, because whenever we are in the class there are definitely a big team of students, and you are motivating them, but in the same way, being a democratic leader, following the democratic style of leadership, we should also encourage them to ask the questions. We should give them opportunity to speak. We should be very transparent, no partiality. And in this way, we can prove ourselves as a good academic leader, as you also do in your class. I think you also motivate your students to ask the questions so that they can improve their knowledge base, and also you answer them whenever they ask. There are only teachers who can transform the informations into the knowledge. अध्यापक ही ऐसे व्यक्ति हैं जो, कविता जी कृपया अपना माइक म्यूट कर लें। कविता दहिया जी, प्लीज म्यूट योर माइक, प्लीज म्यूट योर माइक। सो टीचर्स हमेशा एक मोटिवेशन तो देते ही हैं, उनकी जिज्ञासाओं को शांत करके उन्हें एक मार्ग भी दिखाते हैं, उन्हें एक रास्ता भी देते हैं। When I was young and I started also teaching, definitely it was after 1986. So we were also compelled to attend this kind of programs, training programs. So I also attended programs, and in one of the orientation program, one professor who gave an example, I liked that one very much, and I want to discuss with you also. I want to share it with you also. He said that one day I went in my class, and one of the students, he raised his hand in between the class and in the middle of the class, and I asked what happened. He said, "Sir, I have some queries." He asked a question and I answered. I was very happy that he asked the question, and the whole class was very satisfied because he asked very sincere question. So in the evening, when he was going back to his home, at that time most of the people were using bicycles. not the scooters or cars. So that professor went to the bicycle stand to take his bicycle, and that student was also standing there. And he said, "Sir, kindly excuse me. I apologize. Kindly forgive me." Then the teacher asked, "What happened? Why you are saying so? What is your mistake?" And then that student said that after the class finished, my friends and other students said that you should not ask the question in the class. Teachers doesn't like it very much. So I'm very sorry, I will not ask any question. Kindly forgive me for this. Then the teacher said that I will not forgive you, because since last many years, that moment came today when you asked the question. I was waiting for that happy moment, and it gave me a lot of pleasure. I became very happy that somebody asked very sincere question in my class, and I could answer. And saying this, that kindly forgive me, you snatched the whole happiness, the whole pleasure of mine. So I will not forgive you. I think you understand what is the what that particular teacher wanted to convey. Now it is our decision what to do. Should we inspire the students to ask a question, or we should prohibit them? Definitely we should. According to me, we should motivate them, because if they have curiosity, they will not ask, and if they don't ask, they will not get any answer, because that is the teacher. I told you, this is the time of information explosion. There are a lot of informations everywhere. We are using several gadgets. If you put some word in any search engine, either Google or anywhere, you will find that there are thousands, maybe hundreds or thousands or many thousands windows are opening. But it is not necessary that you will get the proper answer. It is not necessary that all the informations which is there, which is posted there, are correct. So this is the responsibility of a teacher, to accumulate them, to give a clear vision, to transform that information into the knowledge, so that the horizon of the students, the horizon of the knowledge base of students can increase, can be expanded in that way. And curiosity is must. So this is the main and sole responsibility of an academic leader, of a teacher, to promote this kind of things. If they are not curious, we cannot go ahead. As you remember that we all know one lullaby, one poem in our childhood, which is a great point of curiosity. And that poem is, "Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky." So, this is a poem of a for, for children, "Twinkle, twinkle, little star." But then, very next line, the child says, "How I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky." This is curiosity. And on this same curiosity to solve the problems, what they are, NASA is working. Our space research organizations are working, isn't it? I think in this way, we should also make them curious, so that we can get a new path for their own life. Another leadership style which is totally against, opposite of this democratic leadership style, is autocratic leadership style. It is precisely opposite. And in this style, the opinions of team members doesn't count. Instead of this, what the leader thinks, what the leader says, that follow what I am saying. You have to follow the decision of mine. He always or she always expects that from others to adhere to their own decisions, which is not sustainable in the long run. Maybe that in some pressures you can accept that one, but how long? Maybe for a few days, for a few months, and after a long time, after a few days, you will not respect that decision. And this leadership style is not a good leadership style. So we also should not promote them. Another leadership style is called laissez-faire. Laissez-faire leadership style is, this is the word, it is in English, but it is from French. The meaning is let them do. All the members are free. And this leadership style is the least intrusive and ensures that the decision-making authority lies with the team members. All the team members, they can do whatever they want. This is good. In that way, people are very confident. They bear all the responsibility also. And in that way, they use their efficiency, their capabilities. But in long run, there is also confusion. Suppose in one group, everybody will work according to his or her own thinking, then there may be some confusion and they may not reach up to the goal properly. Maybe, may not be. So, this is good as well as not always acceptable. Another leadership style is called strategic leadership style, रणनीतिक नेतृत्व शैली, जहां हम एक रणनीति बनाते हैं. तो जो रणनीति हम बनाते हैं, whenever we make a strategy, it always helps. This is also related to this academic leadership style. This style is also related to academic leadership because we as an academician, we as a teacher, we as an educational administrator, we always make some strategy for our team members, for our institution, for our classroom. I think now also it is important, whenever you go to your class, what you do? Before going, you turn the pages of those points of that chapter of particular that point which you are going to discuss in your class. And in this way, you are following this. Even when we joined this service, educational service, we became teachers. So it was necessary in our institution to make a daily diary, that you have to make a total lesson plan, what you will teach, and when your total curriculum will be covered, in how many weeks, in how many periods, in how many hours, and you put everything in a diary. Still, it is said that it should be maintained. So when there is a NAC visit, always the peer team members ask, do you have all the documents of your class? You say yes. And we also show them. Some person can say, no, we don't have. But this is actually, that should be in practice. I hope that everybody amongst you have one IQAC, that is a part of your management, governance, internal quality assessment cell, which is very important unit of every institution, either university or institute or college. And in those institutions where there is no IQAC, it is compulsory to have an IQAC. And the in charge, maybe many amongst you who are sitting here, they are also in charge or member of IQAC. So you always have some letter from the IQAC that kindly submit this proforma, fill this proforma and send it back to IQAC so that we may have all the informations about you, what you did in your career, how many seminars you attended, symposiums you attended, books you wrote, or research papers are published. Apart from your regular teaching, you have to also submit all those things. So this is a kind of strategy. And we people, whenever we get some kind of circular that we have to submit this one, mostly people, what I felt, many amongst us, they say, why all the time this IQAC, internal quality assessment cell, asking? What is the reason? Actually, it is important. In that way, you can synchronize the things properly, you can keep. And whenever you have any need for your promotion, for the upliftment of your career, you can also have that thing at one place. So it is also very important to make a strategy about your career, about your teaching, what you have to do in future. And whenever you will have this kind of attitude, you will be a good teacher. And if you want to be part of your administration, definitely will be. In all the departments, in all the institutes, either college or university, there are several committees, and teachers are somebody's convener, others are member. Maybe you are member of one committee and you are convener in another committee. You are coordinator of any other committee. You are director of some center. So in that way, you are also the part of that governance and management. And whenever you are a part, then you have to make some strategy. Then you should know what is our responsibility. What should be your contribution? You are member or convener not only for saying, but for implementing something according to your skill, according to your capability, according to your interest. Your principal or your dean or your head gives you responsibility, allocate you some kind of responsibility. Suppose some amongst us have some interest in sports, then he will be member of sports committee or convener of a sports committee, and you will make some strategy according to them. If a person who doesn't have any interest in the sports and who has interest in music, and he is the convener of, he is made convener of that sports committee, what will happen? Neither he will act properly, nor he will know how to make a strategy. The same thing is vice versa. A person who is not interested in music, and if he or she is given allocated the responsibility for music committee or extracurricular committee, then he will not get success. So this is the responsibility of an academic leader, being academic leader in the class and also being academic leader of your institute. In both the ways, in which capacity you are working, you have to decide how to make strategies accordingly. And then you may conquer the situation. तो जो भी रणनीतिक नेतृत्व करता होता है वो हमेशा एक रणनीति बना करके ही काम करता है, दूसरों की भलाई में रुचि रखता है, खुले विचारों वाला होता है, ओपन माइंडेडनेस होनी चाहिए, सेल्फ कॉन्शियसनेस इज ऑल्सो इम्पोर्टेंट। तो ये सारी चीजें जो हैं ये अलग अलग लीडरशिप में आती हैं और एकेडमिक लीडर के लिए रणनीतिक नेतृत्व शैली भी एक अच्छी शैली है। और भी बहुत सारी हैं, कारोबार से जुड़ी हुई हैं, बट इट इज नॉट वेरी रिलेवेंट टू डिस्कस हियर, क्योंकि उसमें जब कारोबारी नेतृत्व जो होता है वो ट्रांजैक्शनल जो कुछ होता है उसमें हम ये देखते हैं कि जब हम जो अच्छा काम करते हैं उनको हम पुरस्कृत करते हैं, जो पूरा अच्छा काम नहीं कर पाते हैं उनको दंडित भी किया जाता है, दे आल्सो गॉट सम पनिशमेंट। लेकिन वो कारोबार में ज्यादा होता है, बिजनेस पे ज्यादा होता है। तो बहुत ज्यादा तो नहीं, थोड़ा बहुत इसका यहाँ पालन करते हैं। एक और जो शैली है, अनदर वन इज ब्यूरोक्रेटिक लीडरशिप। सो दिस स्टाइल sticks to the rules. This is a good leadership style. But now, generally what we think that bureaucracy is red tapeism. But if it is not red tapeism, bureaucracy is related to rules where there is no partiality because rules are same for everyone. सबके लिए एक समान है। तो जहां भी सबके लिए एक समान नियम होंगे वहां वह सबके लिए बेहतर होगी, जिसमें पक्षपात की कोई गुंजाइश नहीं होगी। तो इस दृष्टि से भी एक महत्वपूर्ण शैली है। अब शैलियों की बात फिर हम बात करते हैं कि आखिर एकेडमिक लीडर के लिए व्हाट आर द मेन इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग्स, क्वालिटीज, ट्रेट्स फॉर एकेडमिक लीडरशिप। The first and foremost thing is that he or she should be a very good communicator. उसे एक अच्छा कम्युनिकेटर होना चाहिए, संप्रेषक होना चाहिए जो अपनी बात को पहुंचा सके। जैसे जब हम अपनी कक्षा में हैं तो अगर हम ठीक से जो पढ़ा रहे हैं वह विद्यार्थियों तक नहीं पहुंच रहा है, उसके दो कारण हो सकते हैं। या तो हम ठीक से पहुंचा नहीं पा रहे हैं या उन तक ठीक से पहुंचने में उनकी भी कहीं गलती है। बिकॉज इन ऑल द कम्युनिकेशन there are 2 points, ending points. One is sender, another is receiver. So when we speak something, we communicate something, it goes up to them. And if there is some gap, then we are unable to convey our thoughts. In the same way, if students say something to us and we are not getting or we are not communicating properly. So communication is very important, either for any teacher or in any sphere of your life, even in your personal relations, communication is important. अब जब हम कम्युनिकेशन की बात करते हैं मित्रों, तो एक और बड़ी महत्वपूर्ण बात ये है कि जो कम्युनिकेशन है ये जनरली दो तरह का होता है। एक है वर्बल कम्युनिकेशन, अनदर इज नॉन वर्बल कम्युनिकेशन। So the percentage of total verbal communication in our life is, it is scientifically proved that the percentage is 12%, not more than that. and the rest is non-verbal communication. Generally, we, being a teacher or academic leader, we use this verbal communication in our class, or we also use in our academic as an act as an academic leader, administrator, a part of governance and management. But when we are in the class, we speak more. Still, the percentage is less. And when the percentage is less, then we have to speak very carefully. So there are two types of communication, verbal, non-verbal. Non-verbal में हम अपने gestures, postures, actions, इन सब का भी व्यवहार करते हैं. और वर्बल में शब्दों का होता है, चाहे वो लिखित रूप में हो, चाहे वो मौखिक रूप में, बोला गया हो या लिखित, दोनों चीजें. तो जब हम कम्युनिकेशन की शैली की बात करते हैं तब तो ये दो है, लेकिन प्रकार की जब हम बात करते हैं तो फिर हम ये देखते हैं कि एक फॉर्मल है एंड अनदर वन इज इनफॉर्मल. Whenever we talk to our friends, we are very informal, but when we are talking with our seniors or with our students, the communication is very formal. Communication तो एक पूरा लंबा लेक्चर अलग से हुआ करता है. हम यहाँ पर केवल मोटे तौर पर जो जो मुख्य बातें हैं उसकी हम चर्चा कर रहे हैं. दूसरी बात, कम्युनिकेशन में हमें यह भी ध्यान रखना चाहिए कि जो बातें कही गई हैं उनका रिलेवेंस हो. आप किसी एक, आपने सोचा कि आज क्लास में हम एक पॉइंट डिस्कस करेंगे, एंड यू आर नॉट डिस्कसिंग दैट पॉइंट बिकॉज यू फॉरगॉट समथिंग, then what is necessary to make some points, important points, either on a page or if you remember, you can. Means before reaching to our class, before entering in our classroom, this is the responsibility of an academic leader to turn the pages of your book again and again of the same one. It doesn't matter that how many times you have read it or how many times you taught that particular point. Still, if you turn the pages, read it again, you may find something new. I think you have heard the name of Amir Khusro, who was a great poet of Arabi, Farsi, as well as Khadi Boli Hindi. He wrote several poems, some pahelis and mukri. So paheli, in paheli there is one question, and in the same poetry there is one answer. You have to search the answer and you have to give the answer. You have to reply. And in mukri there are several questions, but the answer is same. You have to search the answer. So one very famous mukri of Amir Khusro, which I like a lot, because it is directly related to our teachers community, we the academic leaders. And that mukri is, it is in Hindi also. घोड़ा अड़ा क्यों, पान सड़ा क्यों, रोटी जली क्यों और किताब भूली क्यों? क्या कारण थे? What are the reasons? The answer is same for all. Can anybody answer? घोड़ा अड़ा क्यों, पान सड़ा क्यों, रोटी जली?
यस सर.
हाँ बताइए.
सर दोनों को यूज पलटा नहीं गया सर.
पलटा नहीं, बिल्कुल सही. चारों को पलटा नहीं, दोनों को नहीं, चारों को पलटा नहीं, क्योंकि चार यहाँ प्रश्न है. चार घोड़ा अड़ा क्यों, कोई पलटा नहीं गया, फेरा नहीं गया, उसे बार बार फेरने की, घुमाने की जरूरत है. पान सड़ा क्यों, पान जो बीटर लीव है, there is a process. If you will not turn again and again that pan, that leaf, it will be rotten. और इसी के साथ साथ रोटी जली क्यों? If you put the roti, bread, एक ही तरफ अगर आप उसको तवे पर रखेंगे और इफ यू विल नॉट टर्न, वो भी नष्ट हो जाएगी, जल जाएगी। और किताब भूली क्यों? द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग विच इज डायरेक्टली रिलेटेड अस, किताब इसलिए भूली क्योंकि हमने उसे फेरा नहीं बार। तो कई सौ साल पहले अमीर खुसरो ने कहा, आज भी ये इज इवन रिलेवेंट टुडे। तो ऐसे में जब हम इन सब चीजें हैं तो ये जरूरी हो जाता है कि हम ये जाने। भूपेन जी, नारायण जी, अपना माइक म्यूट कर लीजिए। तो जब हम ये देखते हैं कि बहुत पहले से सारी चीजें कही जा रही है जो आज भी उतनी ही प्रासंगिक है, तो उनका हमें पालन भी करना चाहिए। सो इट इज ऑल्सो अ पार्ट ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन। When we are going to communicate something, we have to be prepare ourselves. जब आप जा रहे हैं तो आप अपने आप को उसके लिए तैयार करें। दूसरी जो महत्वपूर्ण बात है, जो महत्वपूर्ण गुण है, वो है जवाबदेही, अकाउंटेबिलिटी। So an academic leader is also accountable for the work he did, either teaching or administration, both. दोनों स्थितियों में जो बेहतर नेता होता है, who is the better leader, he always feels and takes the responsibility of his or her team, परिणाम चाहे जो हो, either it is good or bad. If the result is very good, he will give or she will give the grace to their team members. And if it is bad, he will take all the responsibility on himself or herself, that this is my responsibility. ठीक वैसे ही जैसे अगर किसी कक्षा में हम जाते हैं और उस कक्षा का परिणाम, परीक्षा परिणाम बहुत अच्छा नहीं होता है, तो यह सारी की सारी जिम्मेदारी, अगर अच्छा है तो आप उसका सारा ग्रेस विद्यार्थियों को दें, अगर बुरा है तो उसकी जिम्मेदारी हम खुद उठाएं और देखें कि आखिर क्या कारण था कि ये कक्षा उतना बेहतर नहीं कर पाई और उसको सुधारने के लिए हम क्या कर सकते हैं। तो ये जवाबदेही, ये बहुत जरूरी है। इसके बाद एक और महत्वपूर्ण बात ये है कि आप में फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी होनी चाहिए और अनुकूलता भी होनी चाहिए, अनुकूलन की बात होनी चाहिए, adaptability and flexibility, which is clearly mentioned in this document of National Education Policy, that our vision should be very flexible. तभी हम बदलते हुए समाज के साथ नया कुछ कर सकते हैं। और आप ये देखें, सीबीसीएस की जो बात आई है, क्रेडिट बेस्ड जो सिस्टम आया है, यह सिस्टम जो है, यह कहीं ना कहीं फ्लेक्सिबल है। A student of science can also adopt another subject of their interest and they can get the credits and also add in the final results. In the same way, the student of arts or commerce or any other stream can also take another subject and get the credits. तो ये जो फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी है, इसकी चर्चा बार बार की गई और ये फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी हमें भी स्वीकार करनी चाहिए। Confidence is also very important for academic leaders. If you are not very confident, then you cannot be a very good leader, either in your class or being a part of management. Because the person who is not very confident, he will not communicate confidently. He may not take any decision confidently, which is very important for any academic administrator, being the part of governance. Because always in good governance, the person who is leading your institution should be confident. उसे दूसरों के प्रति एक सहानुभूति भी रखना जरूरी है। अगर उसमें आत्मविश्वास नहीं है, अगर उसमें यह बात नहीं है कि हम जो निर्णय लेने जा रहे हैं वो बिल्कुल सही है, तो बात नहीं बनेगी, गड़बड़ हो जाए। Another point is also that he or she should also be very creative and positive also. बहुत रचनात्मक होना चाहिए और सकारात्मक होना चाहिए। अगर आप रचनात्मक और सकारात्मक हैं, people will like you. If you are positive in your life, also it is important for your personal life, for your personal relations, relations with others, relations with others in the society, in your peer group. If you are very creative, if you are very positive, not only your students will like you, but also your peers will like you. आपके जो सहकर्मी हैं, कलीग्स जो है, वो भी आपको पसंद करेंगे, क्योंकि सकारात्मक व्यक्ति के साथ वह कभी परेशान हो सकता है कि हो, लेकिन उसकी सोच उसे एक रास्ता देगी. यू कैन सर्च समथिंग न्यू, बीइंग पॉजिटिव. हो सकता है आज परिणाम अच्छा ना हो, लेकिन आप इस बात के लिए अगर लगातार कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि परिणाम अच्छा हो, तो वो परिणाम अच्छा होगा. यू शुड ऑल्सो बी वेरी फोकस्ड फॉर योर गोल. अपने गोल के लिए जो आपका लक्ष्य है, उसके प्रति भी आपको बहुत फोकस होना जरूरी है. और अगर आप में जोखिम उठाने की क्षमता है, देन यू आर अ गुड एकेडमिक, क्योंकि यह भी आवश्यक है. कई बार ऐसा होता है, बहुत सारे जोखिम उठाने पड़ते हैं. When I was pro vice chancellor, I never thought that I will face many a times, not only one time. Different kind of situations are there, which were unimaginable. I never thought that this kind of problem can emerge, but we searched some solutions. तय है कि उसमें आपकी भूमिका होगी, और आप कॉन्फिडेंट हैं तो आपके टीम मेंबर्स will also help you. They will also give you some suggestions if they have trust on you. So trust is also very important. Being a good teacher in your class, you should have some trust on your students, and in that way students will also trust on you. और आप में एक और योग्यता होनी चाहिए, और वो है टीम बिल्डिंग की. कैसे हम टीम बिल्डिंग कर सकते हैं, कैसे हम एक बेहतर टीम बना सकते हैं. So even the strongest leaders need dedicated teams to complete the whole work, complete the whole project. You must know how to encourage teamwork and collaboration. ये जानना बहुत जरूरी है कि कैसे हम जो कोलेबोरेशन है, सहयोग की भावना है, उसको कैसे हम बढ़ाएं. तो देश में सरकारें भी ऐसी बन रही हैं. तो ये बहुत, किसी भी बेहतर नेता के लिए, किसी भी बेहतर नेतृत्वकर्ता व्यक्ति के लिए यह आवश्यक हो जाता है. टीम बिल्डिंग कैसे की जाए, इससे भी आप जानें. ग्रिड बहुत जरूरी है. धैर्य, इट इज ऑल्सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. इट्स अ ग्रेट चैलेंज. यू शुड हैव सम पेशेंस. आज जिसकी कमी हो रही है, आज की पीढ़ी में तो पेशेंस बहुत कम. लेकिन बीइंग अ टीचर, आपको तो पेशेंस रखने की आवश्यकता है. और अगर ये सारे गुण होंगे तो आप एक अच्छे एकेडमिक लीडर सिद्ध होंगे. मित्रों, 10 मिनट शेष है. मैं थोड़ी सी बात गवर्नेंस पर भी कर लूं, और उन संस्थाओं के बारे में भी कर लूं कि जो हमारी राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति में जिसकी चर्चा की गई है, कि अभी जैसे यूजीसी है, वो बहुत सारी अलग अलग नियामक प्रणाली जो है, उसमें पूरी तरह आमूलचूल परिवर्तन की बात कर रही है, जो उच्चतर शिक्षा की नियामक प्रणाली है. और एक नई संस्था बनेगी. देयर विल बी न्यू institution, you may say, or agency like UGC, that will be हेकी. और वो जो हेकी होगी, HECI, भारतीय उच्चतर शिक्षा आयोग, हायर एजुकेशन कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया, इसके अंतर्गत 4 अलग अलग व्यवस्थाएं होंगी. उन स्वतंत्र व्यवस्थाओं के रूप में उन्हें स्थापित किया गया. पहली होगी NHERC. ये दिस विल बी द फर्स्ट पार्ट, नेशनल हायर एजुकेशन रेगुलेटरी काउंसिल, NHERC, जो It will work as a single point regulator, जिसमें शिक्षक शिक्षा भी है, चिकित्सकीय और विधिक शिक्षा इसमें शामिल नहीं है, वो उसके लिए अलग है। लेकिन ये जो NHERC है ये इसका पहला होगा। दूसरा जो है राष्ट्रीय प्रत्ययन परिषद होगा, अभी नेक है, राष्ट्रीय प्रत्ययन एवं मूल्यांकन परिषद है। तो नेशनल एक्रेडिटेशन एंड असेसमेंट काउंसिल, अब आने वाले समय में वो नेशनल एक्रेडिटेशन काउंसिल के नाम से उसे जाना जाएगा। आप में से बहुत सारे लोग जानते होंगे कि उसकी प्रमुख भूमिका क्या है। मुख्य 7 जो अलग अलग घटक है उसके आधार पर आपकी संस्थाओं का मूल्यांकन, जिस संस्था में आप काम कर रहे हैं उसका मूल्यांकन भी, अगर वहां पर नेक की टीम आई है तो उसमें करिकुलम फ्रेमिंग है, उसमें टीचिंग लर्निंग सिस्टम है, उसमें स्टूडेंट्स प्रोग्रेशन है, उसमें इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है, उसमें गुड गवर्नेंस और लीडरशिप की बात की गई है। ये सारी चीजें उसमें सम्मिलित है। तो ये जो 7 अलग अलग पॉइंट्स हैं, इवैल्यूएशन है, एग्जामिनेशन है, वो उन 7 बिंदुओं में शामिल है। तो काम वही होगा, लेकिन अभी मूल्यांकन की जगह इसका नाम होगा केवल राष्ट्रीय प्रत्ययन परिषद। और इसी तरह राष्ट्रीय प्रत्ययन परिषद के बाद एक और उच्चतर शिक्षा अनुदान परिषद होगा, जैसे अभी UGC है, हायर एजुकेशन ग्रांट्स काउंसिल। और इसका जो चौथा हिस्सा होगा वो होगा सामान्य शिक्षा परिषद, जनरल एजुकेशन काउंसिल, जो जितने उच्चतर शिक्षा के कार्यक्रमों के लिए अपेक्षित परिणाम होंगे, जो एक्सपेक्टेड गोल्स होंगे, इट विल डिसाइड दैट। एंड by GEC there will be a framework, NHEQF, National Higher Education Quality Framework, and according to that जो नेशनल स्किल फ्रेमवर्क है, नेशनल स्किल क्वालिटी NSQF, उसके बराबर हो, उससे जुड़ा होगा, ताकि जो प्रोफेशनल एजुकेशन है उसको हायर एजुकेशन के साथ सीधे सीधे जोड़ा जा सके आसानी। तो इस तरह इसके 4 हिस्से होंगे और उनके अनुरूप यह काम करेगा। दूसरे, यह सामान्य शिक्षण से जुड़ा हुआ होगा, और इसके अलावा भारतीय कृषि अनुसंधान परिषद ICAR या वेटरनरी काउंसिल ऑफ इंडिया या NCTE या आर्किटेक्चर काउंसिल, ये दूसरे अलग अलग काउंसिल्स हैं जो अलग अलग विषयों से जुड़ी हैं। तो मुख्य रूप से इन सब को जोड़ने का काम ये जो जनरल एजुकेशन काउंसिल है वो एक तरीके से करेगी। जितने निकाय हैं उन सबको जोड़ने, एक साथ काम करने के लिए GEC कुछ न कुछ आगे काम करेगी। तो इस तरह की जो संरचना है, ये अलग अलग जो टकराव होते हैं, जो विभिन्नताएं हैं, उनको एक साथ समन्वित रूप से काम कर सकें शिक्षा के क्षेत्र में, उस दृष्टि से GEC की भूमिका बड़ी महत्वपूर्ण है। और ये सारे के सारे जो कुछ होंगे वो एक ही के अंतर्गत होंगे, हायर एजुकेशन काउंसिल ऑफ इंडिया के तहत होंगे। आप सबसे मेरा एक और अनुरोध है कि जो एक्रेडिटेशन के लिए बहुत महत्वपूर्ण अलग अलग चीजें हैं, क्योंकि समय कम है और उन सब पर चर्चा करना अभी संभव नहीं है, लेकिन जैसे नेशनल बोर्ड ऑफ एक्रेडिटेशन है जो विज्ञान से संबंधित है, नेक है, इसके बारे में आप जानते ही हैं, QS रैंकिंग है, द रैंकिंग है, टाइम्स हायर एजुकेशन की रैंकिंग है, QS रैंकिंग है, नेशनल फ्रेमवर्क की बात हो रही है ना, RF की बात हो रही है। इन सब के बारे में भी आप अध्ययन करें, सारी जानकारियां उपलब्ध हैं, और उसके अनुरूप हम अपनी संस्थाओं को आगे बढ़ाने का काम करें, बीइंग अ पार्ट ऑफ गवर्नेंस एंड मैनेजमेंट। if we have some interest, we can give some suggestions to our seniors, to the head of our institutions. And in that way, you can also not only encourage yourself, you can not only encourage your students, motivate your students, but also your colleagues, and also your suggestions may help for the upliftment of your institutions wherever you work, either in university or in the college. So, Mitro, I'm very again thankful to MMTTC AMU for inviting me. If you have any questions, you are welcome.
Participants, if you have any questions or query or any doubts, you can answer it with us.
Good afternoon, sir. So thank you so much for your lecture.
Participant, please introduce yourself first so that sir.
So I'm Karma Chodhan. My institution is affiliated to Sikkim University. So the leadership qualities that you discussed about, I personally feel that these are the prerequisite conditions, not an attribute or attributes to be acquired after the recruitment. So in this respect, I feel like the recruitment system is failing us somewhere, wherein, you know, a different variety of people coming to higher education, more interested in the salary package rather than the commitment that we have to give, because teaching job is a very giving job. You need to have many qualities and attributes. Many of these attributes are learned, I agree, when it comes to research or when it comes to administrative leadership. These are learned, but there are certain qualities which are very intrinsic, and the system has to filter it out. We have seen so many cases, even during the COVID also, when the entire world was empathizing with each other. There were some professors and very senior teachers who were literally crashing their students in online classes as well. So it's very depressing to see all this, different quality people coming into this teaching, which is considered as a very pious profession in India. So I personally feel that the recruitment is failing us somewhere. We keep on changing the education policy, but recruitment, somewhere these kind of filter system should be there, wherein the recruitment is not just based on how much points or you have gained through research or experience, but those intangible things like morality, empathy, compassion. And especially in the age of AI, wherein we are moving towards this age, the role of teacher has become very diminished now. And if we cannot connect with our students at a human level, then what is the point of having a teacher in the classroom? So, sir, this is one thing I have, felt personally, and I would definitely want you to discuss about it and express your opinion as well. And so, because you also said that maybe there needs to be some policy changes, and this is one of the issue that I raised in previous session also, that um, focus towards women and mothers who are in this profession is very less. We have to fight for our maternity leave. I'm very lucky to be in Sikkim, that I think we have 1 year maternity leave as compared to other states. So I feel very lucky. But at the same time, there's so many challenges that we face if we want to continue our research or coming to basic facilities like having a crash in the college. That's something that we have to raise our voices for all the time. So I feel like this is something which needs to be addressed as well, sir. So please, your opinion. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Karmaji, what you said, I totally agree with it. And definitely, there should be these qualities amongst the teachers, because earlier it was a mission. Now it has become a profession everywhere. So teaching was a mission earlier. When we see the uh, beginning of our educational arena, we find Gurukul system, where students and teachers, they all live together, living their own houses. And teachers, definitely, they spend their whole life in the Gurukuls. But students also spend 12 years, 10 years, whatever they want, whatever they want to learn, and they learn there. But in future, the total scenario slowly changed. At present, it is also changed. Still, you will find some kind of passion in many of the teachers. They go to their classes with some passion. They want to teach even today. Even today, I can surely say to you, and I am very confident also, that teacher community is still the most believable and trustable community in the society. Even today, even in this changing scenario where everything is, we are lacking at many places, still, and in Europe or in other countries, I found that there is some kind of survey every year or in 2 years, and they try to know that on which community we believe on the highest level. And definitely, always teachers' community is on number one. It's true that these qualities about which you are talking, about the morality, about the human values, when you will read this document, there are very less pages, only 66 pages in English and 106 pages in Hindi. So wherever you want to learn, you can read. These all points are clearly mentioned, that what is the role of a teacher, even about the selection, about the training, it is mentioned. And as in, I also want that there should be some kind of training for higher education teachers, like administrative services. When they got selected, they go for 1 year entire training and they are trained accordingly. But here in 1986, it was said that it is found that there is nothing as training program for we teachers. So there are different kind of programs, orientation programs, as well as refresher programs. Refresher is related to directly to your subjects, interdisciplinary or subject specific or multidisciplinary, and also faculty induction program. Earlier it was orientation, now it is faculty induction program for 1 month. And these all topics, including human values, morality, they we cover all these things. But see, after a long time, when we get the job, after MA and PhD, we spend many years of our life for that. You prepare yourself, and after that, when we get the job, we forget that this is the responsibility of a teacher to make a good citizen. We should also keep it in mind. And whenever in India also, in foreign, definitely, if you say to anybody, if he asks, what is your profession? What is your job? What you do? And if you say, I'm a professor, you will feel that the attitude is totally changed. There is some kind of respect, because we think that teacher is a better human being other than any other person who is doing some other job. Either he is a teacher in small classes or in a higher education. But definitely, I agree with you that these should be more, these qualities should be more strengthened, and we should think of it. That can be only if some people doesn't, they only come here to get some money, that salary is better here. So it's not a good thing. They should also feel that they are responsible for creating a better society in that way. And most of the people, not all I'm saying, but many amongst us, they still feel that being a teacher is their responsibility. Definitely there is some drawbacks in the total society, some deterioration at every point in the life, which is also we are feeling in the same arena. Still we should be very hopeful that if we think that everything is negative, maybe there are several negative things, but try to make them positive. I also said in my lecture that academic leaders should be very positive. If we are positive, we can search a new path. And definitely, there are several hurdles. Nobody's life is beyond that hurdles. Many kind of hurdles are there. Even you will face several challenges with your peer teams. Maybe that when I joined in the very beginning of my job, this job, I left many jobs, and then even I left administration and came in the higher education. So many young friends, they came, they were posted in some government institution together, which was in a remote area. We all were posted and we were taking regular classes. Some old teachers, they were saying, why you all are taking regular classes? You are creating a problem for us. Even the principal said to us that what you are doing. And then one day he said to us, leave this place, transfer yourself from here, or go to join some university or some better institution, because this place is not the people like you, not to me, but with all that. He addressed the whole group and said, no, 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 don't do it. Otherwise, students, it will be a bad habit for them in future, that definitely your job is transferable. You all will, at one day, you all will leave this place, but then you will create a problem that nobody is there. The old persons are not taking class. So this is not a good thing. But we were taking classes and regularly took the class, attended the class, the students came. So if you are confident, if you are positive, definitely the situations will change. And nothing is totally positive in the life, but we have to definitely create the situations like that. I hope maybe you may agree with me, you may not be agree with me, but this is my own thing. And I always, even as academic administrator, whenever I work, I tried to do my best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for this nice and detailed deliberation on the topic. We have another session at 5:30. Otherwise, we have the opportunity to listen you more and much and more. With these words, I am on behalf of HRDC MU Aligarh. Thanks again, sir, for joining us and sharing your views with me and participants as well. With these words, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Best of luck.
Participants,
Thank you, sir.